Well, we were calling the Vancouver Canucks stupid before you got here. Why they would take Evander Kane and give up a fourth and take all the – I mean, they should be getting a pick to take all the money and Kane. It's a huge coup for the Oilers.
I don't understand. Well, it's a big win for them, but apparently just, reading our insiders writing or whatever, saying that there was apparently 2 or 3 teams that Kane had said he would go to, and all 3 of them were kind of like in on it.
That's what you would tell Vancouver too. That's perfect.
Yeah. Fair enough. I don't understand. So I would say this. What is Vancouver's plan? That's the first and foremost, because they're probably trying to sell to the defensemen. We're competitive because you're not, you're a year away from potentially extending him and deciding his future in Vancouver, right? So these second best defenseman on the planet, arguably. I think, like I'm a Makar
top 5, maybe number 1.
I'm a Makar guy, but I mean, yes. I if Hughes is in 1A or 2, then it's a challenge. But they've got big decisions to make. Like I half-heartedly joke. I did a SportsCenter hit, and I said, could Demko not have been in that deal? Like, they got 3 goalies, right? So Sheloff just won in the AHL. He needs waivers. He's not going to make it through waivers. I think he's a pretty good goaltender that has a chance to be an everyday guy. I don't know if he's a Vladar or better type of thing, because he's a big goaltender, nice butterfly, good skills. We saw it in the playoffs against Edmonton. I thought he handled the moment pretty well at 22, 23 years old.
Played his way out of the league this year, though. Like, he played his way down to Abbotsford. He was not good.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. You're right. He didn't. But I could also say that, that team wasn't that team wasn't the team that we saw the year before. So, Hronek, like, there were guys
down, and then he also won a frickin'
he was great when he was down.
But I would say I'll take a chance on a 24-year-old goaltender that has the skill set. Maybe the team could play better in front of him. So they got his side. You've got Demko at $5 million. You've got Lankinen starting a 4 or 5 year extension at 4.5, something like that.
Yep.
And then you're going to have Sheloff. So that's where I start with Vancouver. What are you doing in net? Because you're going to lose one goaltender if they put him on waivers. And, are you making a decision on Demko extending him, or are you going to move him? Because you're not moving Lankinen, you just extended him. So it's really Demko or Sheloff's. That's the way I look at it.
You see that's coming summer, like a year from now, and the hope would be you could get him right and get a king's ransom for him. Like, I understand you probably don't want to give a divisional rival a ton of cap space, but what you really don't want is a guy to turn into a top 10 goalie in the league like he was before his injuries in division. That's the big no-no for me.
Yeah, but he could sign there in a year potentially. Like, it's one more year.
Right, but Edmonton doesn't – I don't think you're sitting as Stan Bowman sitting at McDavid's cottage right now going – we're going to wait another year to see if this guy's available. Like, I think, you're selling to him. I'm going to get a goaltender right now. And, I don't know what it looks like, but it's going to be different. And that's what I keep preaching. And maybe that's the wrong word, but it's got to look different in net there. And I don't think it's somebody to challenge Skinner. I think what you do is you got a Pickard who makes $850 or whatever it is. We'll call it $1 million. Who won 22 games for them last year and was 7-1 in the playoffs for them. That's a good number 2. I think what you do is you look laterally. So I coming back to Vancouver, they got to do something with their goaltender. And you're right, it is a bit weird that they take Evander Kane and give up a fourth. So they basically got him for free. And does Kane make you a better team? Yes, but there's lots of baggage that comes with that, right? So and they're already coming off a very dysfunctional dressing room last year.
They should be hypersensitive to the room.
Hypersensitive. There should be no one going in that room.
Like, JT Miller has to go.
Right.
This environment's just not healthy. Come on in, Evander Kane, who played his way out of Winnipeg, Buffalo, San Jose, and potentially even Edmonton. Come on in.
Yeah, like that is.
Well, it's also in division, and you've handed the Oilers. I mean, if there were other teams involved, it sounds like you were going to move Kane anyway, but it feels like you've.
Well,
if you're going to take Kane, then okay, then you want the player. Don't take all the money. Or
running as a 30-goal scorer that is a unique. Like, let's do this. let's remove the baggage and the off-ice stuff. If Evander Kane is able to give you 25 goals and 60 points, 55 points, and be a bit of a unicorn, which when he's at his best, there's rare guys in the league, right? Brady Tkachuk, Tom Wilson, guys like that who can skate, fight, do it all. That's Evander Kane. Now he's 35, is he?
33.
33. Seems like he's 35. He's got
So
some
just
mileage.
wave your hands at the baggage, though. Like
34 in August.
I'm not waving. Like
No.
that's what I'm saying. I'm just
they
saying.
literally just blew up their team over that, right?
No,
Like
so
JT Miller, they couldn't do
Right.
that. That's why
And
this is so
I'm
massive.
saying you take the package like of the player. They're better on paper today than they were yesterday, but it also is, like you just said, Pinder, you just brought another powder keg into your room where it's like, okay, now I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. As you grow older, you grow a little bit wiser, you maybe calm down a little bit, that type of, like Evander Kane, there was times in the playoffs where I thought he was a difference maker, but in a positive way. And then in the finals, I thought he was a difference maker in a negative way because he was checking with a stick around his head. And he got four minors. And he wasn't the threat that we saw him getting underneath the skin of Matthew Tkachuk in Calgary. He wasn't the threat that we saw him, against Dallas or LA or Vegas. Like I think it was time for him to go. I think they're not done. I think they're going to move Arvidsson and his $4 million. So they're going to rectify some of their mistakes, and they better have a good summer. If when you got a guy that is sitting there, like you said, Judd is controlling with McDavid what they're going to do for term and money.
Hey, buddies, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.